Welcome to the 103 Krazy Dropoff Radiopod number 20. Yeah, they monetized me on my last episode. That's why I skipped. But thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Krazy Chaos. And we should have a good one for y'all today. Not just about Chris Rock, Will Smith now wanting to sue Chris Rock. Welcome, everybody. I'm your man. Of course, I'm your man. I'm your fam, your best friend. Yo, we all here together, so we fam. You know what I mean? I am Krazy Chaos. Let me let y'all see me. See, here I go. Me, Krazy Chaos. I am here. I'm glad y'all here. And if y'all haven't watched the Netflix channel yet, y'all need to go catch that because it's fire. Chris Rock finally come back and answers back to Will Smith finally. You know what I mean? My last episode was 19, and it was talking about Chris Rock and his performance and how things went and how he shocked the world. It was even on the news. It was everywhere. You know what I mean? So I want y'all to just tune in and stay popping with it because I want y'all to give me your insights. If y'all did see it, I want to see did y'all like it? Did you want him to get back in that type of caliber, in that type of way? You know what I mean? It means a lot to the channel. And if you're coming in, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. That's very important. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. You know what I mean? I am Krazy Chaos, of course. And I'm about to talk more about this Will Smith thing now. Will Smith, all of a sudden, you want to come for Chris Rock now. You came for Chris Rock, bro, on national TV at the Oscars. And that ain't cool. And what is born behind all of that, behind all the commotion and everything and the drama, who had fired you or put batteries in your backpack to give you take your ass up on stage to go slap your man's Chris Rock, is your wife Jada. She was behind the whole thing. And then she want to come out and give her little apologetic apology. Yo, huh? How? No. I ain't feeling that. I ain't feeling Jada's apology at all. I mean, I can't. How can you? So we want to get up on that real quick because Jada always saying some goofy stuff. But we about to go from right here.
I watched it. I loved it. It was funny.
Spoilers. I didn't want spoilers. Lauren
I already gave him a couple spoilers.
They were good.
Don't give them to me.
Her delivery was phenomenal.
Oh, right.
just like Chris.
Just like
it, yeah.
So of course, Chris Rock took to the stage last night in a much anticipated stand-up comedy special. Now, why was this more anticipated than any other special he's had? Because the world was waiting to hear what he had to say about Will. It was all for his special Selective Outrage, streamed live last night on Netflix for the world to see. Now, I was fortunate enough to have seen this Chris Rock performance before, so I knew what was in his routine, but there was a small piece that was added that I don't remember from my comedy special back in December, so we'll play that clip.
I love Will Smith. My whole life, I love this. I saw him open up for Run DMC at the Nassau Coliseum, and now I watch Emancipation just to see him get whooped. And a lot of people go, Chris, how come you didn't do nothing back? How come you didn't do nothing back that night? Because I got parents. That's why. Because I was raised. Okay?
Yeah, the man got polished, of course. The man got polished, and he's not going to just do anything and act like a fool in front of no white folks, especially at an event like that, the Oscars. Come on. And then they're really going to drag him through. So he handled it professionally, I think. last year. You know what I mean? So, Will Smith, you need to get up on your thing and chill out, man. You know, don't be feeling so uptighty now because he didn't got back on you. Yeah, he was gonna get back on you, of course. What you thought was gonna happen? Just tell me. What did you think was gonna happen from that? But we're gonna finish that.
I got parents. And you know what my parents taught me? Don't fight in front of white people.
That's facts. Don't fight in front of white people, especially when they want to see you not doing good. I mean, he's already black. We already out there in some black directed Oscar event. You know what I mean? And then here come Will. You gonna pick on poor little motherfucker Chris Rock. That's crazy. You know what I mean? I'm not with that. Of course I'm not. But I do want to address the elephant in the room is y'all gotta feel Chris Rock when he blew up on him like that. If it was me, the whole special would have been about that whole night. I would have roasted Will so bad, yo, he wanted to pack up, yo, he wanted to move to London and not never come and acting.
Is teaming with Netflix for a 1-2 punch.
Hollywood.
Rock's long-awaited stand-up special is
Never.
airing live on
He won't
Saturday
come back.
night when the comedian will finally share his thoughts. It's about being slapped by Will Smith at last year's Oscars.
Chris has addressed the slaps at previous stand-ups, but the word is he's been testing out material at local spots throughout the country. So it's going to be really interesting to see how much he talks about Will Smith.
The title of the special, Chris Rock, Selective Outrage, is a reference he's used when talking about Smith in recent sets. His show, which will stream from Baltimore's Hippodrome Theater, is Netflix's first ever live event and a test bed for new technology. Subscribers can view it by clicking on a special Watch Live button on their user interface.
You think I taught her to bite kids?
This is Rock's second comedy special on Netflix, reportedly part of his $40 million deal with the network. The show will air just a week before this year's Oscars.
I can't get slapped. I cry a lot.
Where the slap surely will be fodder for host Jim.
But you know what though? I've been had like the updates on the Chris Rock special, like I said yesterday, and I got monetized for it. You know what I mean? I guess it was a claim that was put out. I was doing too much, but now I'm redoing. But I'm also picking up on this new news of Will Smith wanting to sue Chris Rock. On his tweets he put out that my lawyers got lawyers, and I hope you're ready for what I got for you. Will, how can you, dude? Who is you, man? Yo, who are you? Think about it. You know what I'm saying? You the one that went up on stage and slapped Chris Rock. Ain't nobody tell you to do none of that. Oh, no, but you want to do that. Come on, for real? That's BS, man. Now you want to go ahead and play victim. Now you want to play, oh, he done insulted my family, my wife. And you went, man, you messed up this man's lightweight career, but you know what? He was strong enough to take that punch. Like he said, I took that shit like Pacquiao. And you know what I'm saying? You would never see him up on any Oprah, Gayle King, and none of that. Good Morning America, weeping and crying with Dr. Phil talking about what happened. And he prepared the whole year. Just for you, man. Just so you can catch on to what you done did, fam. Will, be a bigger man than that. You from Philly, man. You got your Philly butt up out the seat and you did the do. Now, take the punches. And he ain't even hitting you. He ain't even hitting you hard. But I do admit, yo, that shit was raw. Chris Rock, I give it up to you, man. I give it up to you, my man. For sure. That was dope. I ain't gonna front.
and then his wife was fucking her son's friend, okay? Now, I normally would not talk about this shit.
Chris Rock finally talks about the Will Smith Oscars slap in live comedy special Selective Outrage. Chris Rock wasted no time addressing the elephant in the room in his new Netflix special Chris Rock Selective Outrage, though he saved the best for last. During Netflix's first live event on the streaming platform, the actor and comedian alluded vaguely, at first, to the Will Smith Oscars slap that took over the world following the 2022 Oscars. My reaction to this is I totally understand Chris Rock's frustration with the situation. The slap on live TV, Will Smith overreacted. Now what he did is he gave Chris Rock and every comedian the license to joke about his personal life. Chris Rock will now have top content. He will be funny as hell.
And then his wife was fucking her son's friend, okay? Now, I normally would not talk about this shit. But for some reason, these niggas put that shit on the internet. I have no idea why two talented people would do something that fucking low down. What the fuck? We all been cheated on. Everybody in here have been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television. None of us. It's like, hey, I was sucking somebody else's dick. How did that make you feel? Why the fuck would you do that shit? She hurt him way more than he hurt me, okay? Okay? And by the way, he does that shit. Everybody in the world called him a bitch. I tried to call the motherfucker and give him my condolences. He ain't pick up for me.
Everybody in the world, yo. Everybody in the world, the internet went crazy. Yo, the Drink Champs, every podcast that you could think of, even the news was kind of calling like, Will was kind of weak about that. I mean, yo, and then slipped in and just dropped tears like, come on, B. You gonna wake up, smell the coffee? But yo, Chris Rock got a point. I mean, everybody gonna call you out your name, show your weakness on TV, on internet, through the radio stations, even made songs about you. Little guy walking around gloating because he done got some Jada Pinkett Smith punani under Will Smith crib. Come on, think about it.
Everybody called that man a bitch. Fucking Charlemagne called him a bitch, and the Breakfast Club called him a bitch, and the View and the Talk and every rapper and fucking the Drink Champs called him a fucking bitch. Everybody called him a bitch. They called his wife a predator. Everybody called him a bitch. Everybody. And who's he hit? Me. A nigga he know he could beat. That is some bitch ass shit.
That's some weak ass shit, yo. And it goes on for days. And Will Smith, you're gonna be known for that because you did that, bro. You did that. You hit that man like that, bro. You hit that man like that. And you know Chris Rock. He all fun and games, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, you kind of a comedian too. You know what I mean? So how can you do that, bro? How can you do that? That's a shame, man. That's what I'm saying. And I feel what he's saying, that he selectively picked out Chris Rock and checked him. He G-checked him. But what about everybody else?
Now, about Oscar night, my deepest hope is that these two intelligent, capable men have an opportunity to heal, talk this out, and reconcile. The state of the world today, we need them both.
It's been months since the incident at the 94th Academy Awards where the Hollywood star climbed on stage to slap comedian Chris Rock over.
Hold on. Jada be on some bullshit. That was a bullshit apology. I ain't buying it. So that's what happened to you, Jada. That's why he got on you, Jada.
A joke about his wife Jada Pinkett Smith's alopecia condition. Well, it looks like the roller coaster of events hasn't come to an end. Jada Pinkett Smith recently commented on the Oscars incident on her Red Table Talk show, saying she hopes Will Smith and Chris Rock would be able to get past it and reconcile. Apparently, it seems Chris Rock is not down for that. The comedian had a few things to say, and we bet you're just itching to know. Let's get right in. It looks like comedian Chris Rock is not responding to Jada Pinkett.
What? He ain't responded? Shit, I wouldn't either. Kiss my black ass.
Smith's pleased to reconcile with her husband Will Smith on her Facebook show Red Table Talk. According to a source who spoke to Entertainment Tonight on the 6th of June 2022, the grown-up star doesn't want to deal with the Smith family amid his comedy tour. He's not concerned with the Smiths at the moment, the source said. He's touring and he's preparing for a comedy special. The insider also stated that Chris Rock does not keep up with any Hollywood news and that he's focusing on himself at the moment. The insider's comments come months after Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the 94th Annual Academy Awards ceremony after Chris made fun of Pinkett Smith's bald head, referring to her as G.I. Jane right before Will Smith approached the stage and slapped him. "Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth," Smith yelled from his seat after the incident. On the 1st of June 2022, Jada opened up about her thoughts about the viral Oscars altercation. The actress expressed her thoughts about alopecia in the cold open of Red Table Talk. "Considering what I've been through with my own health and what happened at the Oscars, thousands have reached out to me with their stories. I'm using this moment to give our alopecia family an opportunity to talk about what it's like to have this condition and to inform people about what alopecia actually is," she said. She then directly referred to her.
But I know, like, what alopecia is. I know babies get it. I didn't know grown people could get alopecia, yo. Like, straight up, for real. I didn't know. I did not know at all that, like, a full-grown person can get alopecia. But Chris Rock ain't know. He probably thinking she doing another movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? So why she gonna even act like how she acted at the Oscars and then want to come back with, if that was the case, why you ain't calm wheeled on? Why you ain't even grab him for even going up on stage? Why you even say like a wife or a woman supposed to, don't worry about it, baby. That's nothing. He just joking. That's what he do. That's his livelihood. That's his career. Or why y'all didn't even apologize live at the Oscars? You know what I'm saying? But instead, nah, y'all will let that ride. And then she want to come back with this apology crap. Nah, who buying that, B? I ain't buying it. So, Will, if you want to sue, I feel like you a chump for doing that. You know what I mean? A big chump at that. That's some sucker shit, yo. Now you want to sue. Mr. Big Man. Yeah, Chris, move on, man. You know what I mean? Will is hurt right now. He's really hurt. You didn't got up under his skin because you didn't talk about him, his wife, his son, the whole entanglement thing, and it made sense. The shit was crazy. I love it, yo. I love it. I love it. I love it. That was raw. He had it coming. For real, for real. You know what I mean? But other things more than just the Will Smith and Chris Rock thing going on. Because everybody on YouTube, yo, they reporting it and they broadcasting it and they making it seem like, oh, I'm late. Nah, I did it yesterday. And like I said, they monetized me. They took it down because they got a claim on me because I was doing too much. But this is the 103 Krazy Dropoff Radiopod, number 20. And what we do here, we talk about crazy shit that y'all need to really think about that's going on in the world. You know what I mean? Because a lot of stuff is changing and everybody go to work every day and they're not really focusing on what's going on beneath the bullshit that they're not reporting on the news. The news ain't giving us all the what we're supposed to be or even know. Half of the stuff that or the knowledge or the stories that's been coming out, we know about, we heard about it, but we ain't really focused on it. Elon Musk, we all know who Elon Musk is, right? So yeah, of course he didn't want. He's against of having the AIs being even fact manufactured, even coming out with AIs to help us with the human living a life on Earth. And he's totally against it. And I'm against it too, because we all seen the movie Terminator, right? Y'all seen the Terminator movie? That's real. They're making that shit a real life thing. And I got something for you right here. That's going to prove the point. It's scary. Yeah, it's out here. They been had it. They got it. Matter of fact, you can see it with your own eyes and you can tell me if you feeling this for real. Because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to kill us. They're trying to take us off the map. With robots, AIs. I ain't feeling this part right here. Hold on, mama. I know.
Check this out. At a top robotics company in Japan this week, 4 robots being developed for military applications killed 29 humans in the lab. And they did it by shooting what he called metal bullets. I didn't know there was any other kind. The scariest part is that lab workers deactivated 2 of the robots, took apart the 3rd, but the 4th robot began restoring itself and somehow connected to an orbiting satellite to download information about how to rebuild itself even more strongly than before. This next sentence is a quote. I'm writing this.
You want to know why Elon Musk said advancement of AI is very dangerous? Check this out.
At a top robotics company in Japan this week, 4 robots being developed for military applications killed 29 humans in the lab. And they did it by shooting what he called metal bullets. I didn't know there was any other kind. The scariest part is that lab workers deactivated 2 of the robots, took apart the 3rd, but the 4th robot began restoring itself and somehow connected to an orbiting satellite to download information about how to rebuild itself even more strongly than before. This next sentence is a quote. I'm writing this.
Yo, did you just hear that? The damn robot took it upon itself to hook up to a damn satellite in outer space, downloaded a program in order how to build another robot stronger and smarter. This is this white lady, this small little white lady right here. She's reporting this, and she's giving it to us like she ain't never heard of it, like she ain't never seen the movie. This shit sound like a movie, but it's kind of fearsome. Because think about look how they moving. They moving like humans. These robots is real. These AIs.
This down. I've been doing this for years. This is serious, Linda, but you're never going to hear about this in the news.
Although eventually it was destroyed, that's one win for the robots and one loss for the humans.
Now that's crazy.
Yo, that's dead crazy. At the Krazy drop off right here. That's
down. I've been doing this for years. This is serious.
Serious shit, Linda. Yo, Linda, thank you for reporting that. But I did see a story about that a long time ago. They it wasn't Linda reporting it though. It just had the footage of those robots right there. That ain't SG. That ain't no damn graphical shit in the movies. Those are real robots. Are they building those robots to fight in the military war? Because we know China, they building them robots crazy. They doing everything, like from servants to bringing your food, bringing your slippers, to talk to you, be a confidant, to be a whatever, a F robot, you know, a robot you can go and get your jollies off to. Like, that's crazy. And we know China is like 3 steps ahead of America in technology. But America, they got these robots right here on the soil. They planted somewhere, and we don't know where they planted at. So y'all think about this, because it's really crazy over here in the Dropoff. We can't kill them robots. Them robots got they got dead red eye target. They gonna hit every target, anything. So don't buy no robots. Don't buy anything that can move by itself. They got a camera on it. Don't do it. Ban them. Don't buy them. Trust me, stay away from them. They're not good for you and I. Believe that. I say F the AI. Suck my AI for real, for real. You smell me? With no pulls. Because once they get in the game, it's going to be like Terminator for real, man. The humans, the resistance against the robots. And they're going to take over everything. But we ain't going to do it on that. We're going to keep it moving on the 103 Krazy Dropoff Radiopod number 20. Please hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Show your love. We are real. We're real right here. Ain't nothing sugar-coated. I know I'm kind of stop you a little bit with the presentation, but I'm doing it. I'm right here with y'all, and y'all here with me, and we're going to go together, and we're going to be big, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be big together. So you also will be able to come up on the panel and talk. Once I send a link to the comment, you can come up on the link, press the link button, boom. Stream your is going to lead you right to the panel. All you got to do is unmute your mic, press the thing. You can either show your camera or you don't have to show your camera. I don't care. If you're not shy, hey, do your thing. But we about to go to this next one right here. We got a story on Cardi B and Offset. Yeah. Some things kind of went down. We about to see what went down. Let's get it.
So your boy Offset, he walked into an ATL club with his wife Cardi B. And guess who they spot? Quavo. He was with Jazz. So Offset had to let Jazz know the GD's in the dough. I guess that's Offset way of GD checking Jazz to let him know, hey man, you in my city now. I told y'all, man, Offset, he ain't got an issue with Quavo. It's with J Prince Jr. and his brother Jazz, especially knowing how they pops J Prince was talking bad about it. That's why there's a lot of folks in ATL and Chicago that was disappointed with J Prince's statements towards Offset. But your boy Jazz, to be seen in ATL right now, he's pretty brave, man. Because trust me, there's a lot of folks in the ATL, they want answers based on what happened with Takeoff. So him being at that club, they're going to put pressure on him. Yeah, man.
And that's crazy because Offset is kicking in with Jazz still after the Takeoff effect. After J Prince came on $1 million worth of game and said, oh, Quavo going to feel the same way too. And he going to give a statement just like how we see fit. Dude, and you bringing them to Atlanta? Wow. So you didn't think you was going to bump heads with your man's Offset and Cardi B. So that's why Offset is throwing it up. And he let them know, nigga, we in the house. You in our house. Now what? But Quavo is looking like a sucker right here, man. Ain't no fucking way, Bree. Ain't no way y'all responsible for my man's death, my nephew's death. And I'm kicking and potting with y'all like ain't nothing happened. And my man's right over there. And I can't even holler at my man's over there because we got into it in the Grammys. I don't care. I'm going to go overstep to my nigga and be like, man, hey, yo, it was a misunderstanding. More than like that. Yo, let's kick it, man. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, what you drinking on? Well, let's get some bottles of something over here. Let's kick it. You know what I'm saying? You and your wifey. Jazz and them, they'll be left over there. And then if they left over there, that means that they are vulnerable to the goons in Atlanta. Think about it. They'll be vulnerable to the goons in Atlanta because they're still trying to get them niggas to give Atlanta some answers. And they ain't gave them no answers but some bullshit through their father and Jay Prince Sr. Ain't no way in hell that night would have went like that. Let's hear it again.
Look at this. So your boy Offset, he walked into an ATL club with his wife Cardi B. And guess who they spot? Quavo. He was with Jazz. So Offset had to let Jazz know the GD's in the dough. I guess that's Offset way of GD checking Jazz to let him know, hey man, you in my city now. I told y'all, man, Offset, he ain't got an issue with Quavo. It's with Jay Prince Jr. and his brother Jazz, especially knowing how they pops Jay Prince was talking bad about it. That's why there's a lot of folks in ATL and Chicago that was disappointed with Jay Prince's statements towards Offset. But your boy Jazz, to be seen in ATL right now, he's pretty brave, man. Because trust me, there's a lot of folks in the ATL, they want answers based on what happened with Takeoff. So him being at that club, they're going to put pressure on him. Yeah, man, look.
Yeah, they want a lot of answers. I ain't feeling about what he said, though, about what he said. Offset and got beef with Quavo because my beef will be with Quavo of, nigga, you still kicking it with this dude. What is wrong with you, bro? You ain't woke up yet. Now I'm looking at you like a man. Now you the enemy. You the enemy now. I can't even look at you like the same. We supposed to be this, supposed to be that. And it ain't even that no more. Sheesh. Man, let's do the damn thing. Shit is crazy out here. Niggas kick it different. I don't know why. I don't know how.
Engine, and it was really working. And then he had a heart attack. And as he was dying, he was saying, they killed me. They killed me. And then he died. Nobody heard from the water engine again. Meyer said that his invention could do what physicists say is impossible.
Now, this is the guy we're talking about. You're talking about the guy that invented the water that can run a car, that can fuel a car and run it and power it. Y'all don't remember this, seeing this back in the day on the news? Where a guy it made an invention where a car can be powered by water, not gas, not oil, not electricity, none of that. This is what he's talking about. I know the volume was down in the beginning, but I'm going to replay it back so y'all can hear it and get the full storage.
Possible, turn water into hydrogen fuel efficiently enough to drive his dune buggy cross country on 20 gallons straight from the tap. Wow. He took a sip of cranberry juice, then he grabbed his neck, bolted out the door, dropped to his knees, and vomited violently. I ran outside and asked him what's wrong. His brother Stephen Meyer recalled, he said, they poisoned me. That was his dying declaration. You remember there was a video that was circulating many years ago about a guy who created a car that runs on water. And then this car that ran on water, I mean, he apparently had a viable engine and it was really working. And then he had a heart attack. And as he was dying, he was saying, they killed me. They killed me. And then he died. Nobody heard from the water engine again. Meyer said that his invention could do what physicists say is impossible, turn water into hydrogen fuel efficiently enough to drive his dune buggy cross country on 20 gallons straight from the tap. Wow. He took a sip of cranberry juice, then he grabbed his neck, bolted out the door, dropped to his knees, and vomited violently. I ran outside and asked him what's wrong. His brother Stephen Meyer recalled, he said, they poisoned me. That was his dying declaration. You remember?
Yeah. They don't really care about us. Hold on. Let me go ahead and reiterate that. Michael Jackson said, they don't really care about us. Was he lying? I mean, think about it. Everything that we do, they're trying to get us either deep inside our pocket, take us away from our family. They're trying to just, we get locked in jail, you don't hear that music no more. They're just trying to put us down, keep us down, and put us down there. Then they're putting diseases out to get rid of the population. because they feeling that we're doing too much and is conquering more that we were supposed to even know about, or we're not supposed to even know about it. First of all, that right there is a beautiful thing. Back in the day, you used to watch some little cartoon specials, and then the commercial come on and say, "A mind is a beautiful thing to waste. It's too beautiful to waste." And then wake up, everybody. There's no sleeping in bed. You gotta do something. There's a life all ahead. And everything that you gonna do, you gonna need to see. Just come on, people. You can do the, you know what I mean. And then now we got this technology that's making us slow. It's making us slow because our memory ain't functioning. It's not building and it's not keeping the memory. All we remember is apps. How to do the app, how to control the app. Phone. Everybody looking at their phone. You can't even go to the doctor's appointment without sitting in the lobby. Instead of reading that book or that magazine, you're going to pick up your phone and do this. You in the courtroom. Now you can be in the courtroom looking at your phone. Dentist appointment, phone. License bureau, phone. Shit, waiting for your nigga to get out of jail or your girl to get out of jail, phone. Waiting for the bus, phone. On the bus, phone. I bet you cannot remember 5 numbers by heart. They're taking a lot. They don't care because they know what they're doing. They're trying to let the system and the technology take over you. They want you to be dumb and sloppy and loose up here. They don't want you to remember nothing from the books that you learned from science, Boy Scout, Girl Scout, or basketball, or anything that's technical or motivational and productive that you have learned and took time out to learn. Not unless you're constantly doing something like a career, a good career, like architecture, nursing, something that's steady. I ain't talking about rapping, because that shit can't really save your life. It can't save the next person's life. I'm talking about real creative stuff that is meant to be out here. So, everybody that's taking that vaccine, I hope y'all happy. I got something for you. Want to hit? Here you go. Wake up, everybody. I don't know what they say, but they ain't better play with my life. Cause nigga, I ain't playing. You about to see what I'm about to prove. I'm about to show it to you. You came to the best place to be. 103 Krazy Dropoff. It's for you. Let me stop a while.
Hospitals misclassifying every single death as caused by COVID because they got all kinds of unprecedented horrors and murder onto the American population. We had hospitals misclassifying every single death as caused by COVID because they got a huge payout from the federal government. We showed a graphic on yesterday's program. Here in my home state of Minnesota, hospitals were paid nearly $300,000 for every patient that they killed because we had the fatal hospital protocols that took sick people, separated them from their loved ones, sedated them with drug cocktails that would kill any healthy person, filled their bodies with poisonous remdesivir, took people that arrived on their own 2 feet, under their own horsepower, and put them on ventilators, life support, and executed them by destroying their organs. Well, now our next guest says that something even more horrible is about to be unleashed. Scott Sherry, you might remember, is the father of Grace. Grace was a 19-year-old girl with Down syndrome that he believes was murdered by the hospital trusted to care for her because she and her family were Christian and unvaccinated. We've had him on the program several times last year to discuss his family's case, but today he rejoins us not just to talk about his own family, but instead he says that he has something bigger, much bigger, to discuss. According to the message that Scott sent to our producers, a single corrupt action means that our hospitals are about to turn into the modern-day killing fields on steroids compared to what they were last year. Scott says that the Department of Health and Human Services illegally implemented rules that formed a new charter group. That charter group was essentially a government death panel, which is collaborating with hospitals to kill patients. Scott says that he has some new earth-shaking news to share with us on the show, and he joins us now. Scott, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you being here.
Well, it's always a pleasure to be on the program, Stu. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So what is this death panel that you speak of?
Well, you have to frame it in the context of the prior death panel. So you'll remember on March 23rd, 2010 is when Obamacare was passed into law. And the chief architect of Obamacare was Ezekiel Emanuel. And all the way back to 1996, he framed death panels. So it's no surprise they're happening again, but I want to give that historical context. I'm going to quote Ezekiel Emanuel. So this is 1996. He said, "Healthcare services provided to individuals who are irreversibly prevented from being or becoming participating citizens are not basic and should not be guaranteed." So that was the framework that Obamacare was based on. So then the death panels were, of course, repealed by Congress in 2018. But when they did that, they only cut off one head, and now it reared its head again. And it did it now through the Health and Human Services Secretary. And I'm going to say legally, because what's going on is once there's a public health emergency, which interestingly is also decided by the Health and Human Services Secretary, he has unlimited power and authority to implement crazy agenda items, which of course we know he's already implemented remdesivir ventilators through the emergency use authorization with the FDA. The bioweapon's been implemented that way, but now they have to at some point end this public health emergency. So I believe they're setting up that framework now. And one of the things is the new death panel. So this organization that you just mentioned is the Medicare Evidence Development Coverage and Advisory Committee. So the Health and Human Services Secretary signed this into the equivalent of law the day before Thanksgiving, November 23rd of 2022. And then it was filed on Thanksgiving Day. And it specifically calls for this committee deciding which medical items and services are reasonable and necessary or otherwise covered for Medicare beneficiaries under Title 18 of the Social Security Act. So at first blush, you would think that doesn't apply to you because you're not on Social Security, you're not on Medicaid, but it does because the Medicare and Medicaid standards of care set the standard for the entire country. So if you're on Medicare, Medicaid, public, private insurance, no insurance, if you go into any facility that accepts Medicare and Medicaid, you're under the standard of care dictated by the Social Security Administration. So we're entering into, I'm going to say uncharted territory, but they've been setting this up for decades, and now they're going to implement it full circle. When just to give you a perspective, when COVID first started, there was only 62 million people on Medicare and Medicaid. It's projected that in March, that number is going to go to 100 million because
It's March now, y'all. It's March. It is March. And this is for Fair Use Act only. Everything that is publicly broadcast here is allegedly for entertainment use also.
They relaxed the standards with COVID. Well, I think it's going to 100 million on purpose because these are the first people they're going to implement the death panels to, the low-hanging fruit, the ones that are the, quote, burden to society. So it is unbelievable. When I was researching and we came across this document, it was like, but then we dug further, Stu, as you know, we were talking about this off cameras. Then we dug further. How could this possibly be? Which, you and I can go into that next.
Yeah. It's because all of a sudden Pfizer is calling the shots, and they have all of the proprietary information, the intellectual property, and these contracts have been signed by our government with Pfizer in order to give Pfizer the presumptive authority to call the shots. Pfizer is public enemy number one, and they ought to be treated accordingly. They are criminals who have unleashed a bioweapon, and attorneys general from across this country and sheriffs ought to be opening investigations and issuing arrest warrants for these people. And all it takes is victims of this bioweapon deployment to go to their sheriff and say, look, I have been victimized. One or more people have conspired against me. Karen Kingston was on the program yesterday, said some interesting things. I want you to have a listen. We'll talk on the other side.
The enemy is Pfizer. It's not your neighbor, okay? It's not, believe it or not, it's not Fauci, because he didn't unleash these bioweapons on us. The enemy is Pfizer. Why is the enemy Pfizer and not everyone else? Because Pfizer now owns all of their intellectual property and they're calling the shots. So don't waste your time going to anyone else. Pfizer is the giant. If they fall, everyone falls. But I don't know what it's like to actually have a bullet to my head. I know what threats are like. I know what a lot of scary things are like, but I've never had a gun to my head. And maybe that had happened. But if that happened to you, and you worked at the FDA under USC 18 USC 241, conspiracy against rights, you can come forward and say, 2 or more persons conspire to oppress, injure, harm, or intimidate me. If it results in attempted kidnap, aggravated assault, or attempt to kill, then you have charges against.
Yeah. So I go on to say there, who's going to investigate this? It's certainly not going to be the FBI. They're busy going door to door, rounding up people who prayed on the Capitol steps and making up kidnapping plots of people like Gretchen Whitmer. It's not going to be the DOD, because the DOD is obviously responsible for engaging in these contracts. Congress certainly hasn't shown that they want to investigate anybody. Who's it going to be that holds public enemy number one, Pfizer, accountable for these criminal acts?
Well, that's a fantastic question. Your comment about sheriffs, I think, is.
We're not dumb, people. We're not dumb out here. I know and I believe that you're not dumb. She's not dumb. Your neighbor's not dumb. But some people are scared. They put fear in your heart. The media is full of dirty tricks. Only God can judge me. Remember that. By the famous words of Tupac. Media puts out crazy shit to put fear in your heart. I mean, it's so many things that's going on out here. I could just tell you. But also, I have to watch my back also because I have a family. But I'm bringing you up on speed and giving you the cues and gems of, come on, y'all, common sense. Common sense. When all those people was dying and then giving out millions of dollars for you, giving out lottery tickets for you to take a vaccine, and now they talk about Pfizer. Pfizer, you can blame it on Pfizer, blame it on the Pfizer. No, blame it on you, the people. Do not fall low to the fool for the trickery, for the trying to kill us. They're trying to depopulate the world. This is what it's all about. That's what COVID was all about. It was supposed to be a successful mission, but it didn't come through successful. So now they got to try a new thing. But they talking about while it was going on, this is what was going on. This is what was really going on. With the journalist said on the left-hand side a long time ago, I knew this. And ain't nobody had to send me an email, ring it. I just felt the vibe.
Spot on. Matt Truella talks about, and he wrote the book, The Doctrine of the Lesser Magistrates. So these lesser magistrates, the sheriffs, can stand the gap and be our protectors. So there's no question that can happen. The state attorney generals would be another one, although they've shown little interest so far. I mean, it's very clear. We're 36 months into this, Stu. It's clear that this is a bioweapon. So why isn't anybody standing up? And ultimately, what she said is very clear. We're 36 months into this, Stu. It's clear that this is a bioweapon. So why isn't very clear? We're 36 months into this, Stu. It's clear that this is a bioweapon. Very clear. We're 36 months into this, Stu. It's clear that this is a bioweapon. So why isn't anybody standing up? And ultimately, what she said, that Pfizer is public enemy number one, I think is true. But what happens when public enemy number one gets exposed? And I want to give you an update in that regard. So to take people back, on January 8th of 2021, Brooke Jackson filed the False Claims Act lawsuit against Pfizer. And it was because she said that they deliberately withheld crucial information from the United States that calls the safety and efficacy of their vaccine into question. That was right from the suit. Okay, so then Pfizer's defense was we didn't have a responsibility to even test. We had a contract with the government for a prototype. And interestingly, now 3 months ago, October 4th of 2022, the United States government issued a statement of interest supporting the dismissal of the amended complaint in this case. And they specifically wrote, the complaint does not plead factual content to support a conclusion that compliance with the clinical trial protocol or regulations was necessary under the contract between Pfizer and the Army. So now we go after Pfizer. You can see that's the smoking gun. You go after Pfizer. Well, now the United States government is going to come to their defense because Pfizer had a contract with the Department of Defense. So where do we go from there?
Well, you have criminals that are going to be held to account. And when arrests start happening, people start talking. That's just the nature of evil people. First they deny, and then they deflect, and then they snitch, and they place blame on others. So the whole...
Did he say snitch? Matter of fact, is anybody going to be accountable for what's going on in the pharmacy world? I was told that you can't even go and sue the pharmaceuticals for the drugs or mishap or misconformation from the ingredients and the aftermath that happens and the reactions that you have from taking these pharmaceuticals. So is anybody going to be arrested? Hell no. Yeah, whistleblower is going to have to come out the company to do that.
House of cards of evil comes down once Pfizer is held accountable. I believe that they are public enemy number one. You would agree with that. They have unleashed a bioweapon. There is no law in the United States or in any state in our union that would protect somebody from unleashing a bioweapon, a weapon of biowarfare against the American people.
Well, I agree with that. The sequence of events to make that happen was done over a 50-year period. There's numerous laws in place that were put in place by Congress, one step at a time, that now they've crossed the T's and dotted the I's relative to their legal justification for what they're doing. But there's no one that is above the Constitution. So all these acts of Congress obviously are illegal. And you are 100% right. Once somebody legitimately gets sued, they start throwing everybody else under the bus. I watched this yesterday. The Wisconsin Supreme Court heard a case of an individual who was not given ivermectin. And the hospital, the trial court said the hospital has to do it. The hospital appealed. Now it went to the Supreme Court in Wisconsin yesterday. And the hospital threw the doctors under the bus. The hospital was called out. What was your standard of care? And the attorney for the hospital said, no, that we don't have any standards of care in the hospital. It's all the doctor. So, I watched it live yesterday when I watched the case.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go after them. And we're going to have a method of operation and deployment tactics to empower the people to hold Pfizer accountable, because once that comes down, once public enemy number one is named as the criminal and that accountability starts to come to fruition, the whole rest of this entire pandemic becomes exposed. And in Jesus' name, a lot of people are going to be held to account. They are going to go to prison. The death penalty absolutely should be on the table for the crimes against humanity that these people have perpetuated. The genocide has been televised. The evidence is there. I'm going to be meeting with attorneys general from around the country. I'm going to be meeting with sheriffs from around the country, and I will not take my last breath until we find justice for Grace and for all of the other millions of people who have been victims of this bioweapon attack. Scott Sheriff, for your fight and for the information, thank you so much, and thanks.
Hey, baby, how you doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, did you just watch what I watched? Did you just see and hear what I heard? Did you just hear? A long time ago, I've been saying something about a slow motion genocide. And I wouldn't even know nothing about this group, this organization, this and that. It's planned. It's out there. I done had dreams, and it's crazy. Even at the Denver airport, there was a mural painted, and there's tunnels under the Denver airport that lead to like underground FEMA camps. And on this mural of this wall in the airport, you see people with gas masks just killing people, killing us. And we trying to escape from something we don't know what it is in that mural. And this slow motion genocide been out here. Now they're trying to speed it up. I got something else that connects to with this story, this past story that I just aired. It connects right to it. And this is a senator. I want you to listen closely, fam. Listen closely, y'all. All right? I ain't trying to scare y'all. I'm just trying to bring y'all up on speed. You know what I'm saying? Please like, share the page, subscribe, hit the notification bell so anytime I'm on, you catch it and let you know 15 minutes way ahead before I air. Let's check this out right here. Wow, hold on. All right, there we go. There we go.
Do we fund coronavirus? I don't believe so, but I don't know. I'll double check and we'll get back to you on that, Senator.
The answer is yes.
Now, hold on. Y'all missed the main important question that he asked it. I don't know what's up with this thing replaying, but let's just check it out and let's go back. I'm gonna let it replay back.
You do, and it's been going on for more than a decade, and it's done through a program called Predict and then the Global Virome. And why this is important is we had 1 million Americans die, and we really haven't had any discussion of this. No hearings, nothing. People are unaware that they're even funding the research. We found out recently through the House unclassified report that money is going from the NIH to American universities to the Academy of Military Medical Sciences Research in China. We are subcontracting money and sending it over, but millions is coming from the State Department. So the idea is this: we will identify all the viruses in the world. We'll be safer because we identified them. But here's the question: are we safer to have some guy or some woman crawling down a cave 10 hours away from Wuhan, coming up with bat guano, coming up with viruses and bringing it to a city of 15 million like Wuhan? This is what's been going on for a decade. It's a setup for an accident. It's a setup for a mistake. And nobody's doing anything about it. We continue to fund it. Does the State Department fund coronavirus research in China?
Do we fund coronavirus? I don't believe so, but I don't know. I'll double check and we'll get back to you on that, Senator.
The answer is yes, you do. And it's been going on for more than a decade, and it's done through a program called Predict and then the Global Virome. And why this is important is we had 1 million Americans die, and we really haven't had any discussion of this. No hearings, nothing. People are unaware that they're even funding the research. We found out recently through the House unclassified report that money is going from the NIH to American universities to the Academy of Military Medical Sciences Research in China. We are subcontracting money and sending it over, but millions is coming from the State Department. So the idea is this: we will identify all the viruses in the world. We'll be safer because we identified them. But here's the question: are we safer to have some guy or some woman crawling down a cave 10 hours away from Wuhan, coming up with bat guano, coming up with viruses and bringing it to a city of 15 million like Wuhan? This is what's been going on for a decade. It's a setup for an accident. It's a setup for a mistake. And nobody's doing anything about it. We continue to fund it. Does the state?
It's a setup, y'all. It's a setup, like he's saying. It's a setup. Do y'all follow me on that? Do y'all agree with me on that, man? Because that's illmatic to me. That's very, very, very illmatic to me. It's a setup. Ain't nobody doing nothing about it. The government ain't doing nothing about it. If y'all in the room, you can hit that link that I sent to you right there in the chat, StreamYard.com. Hit that and you can come up on the panel. You can give your 2 cents in. I would love for y'all to come up on the panel. Don't be shy, because once it's live go down, it will be replayed, but you won't be able to come up on the panel. So you only have to you have to tune in on the live. They come up on the panel, and I can have like 10 people come up on the panel, and we can all talk about what's going on in the topics that we just aired out about, you know. So feel free to hit that link in the chat. It says StreamYard.com and some other letters, and you just hit that, click on that, and it's gonna send you straight to the panel. But yeah, the Corona thing, gimmick. Yo, they pumped it in, y'all. 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 I ain't just saying they pumped it in you personally. I'm saying they pumped it in through America. They pumped the fear in America. People were scared. And it was a whole other thing up undercovers in the hospitals. Now, can you trust your doctor? My doctor, every time I kept going to see my doctor, my physician, yo, I bullshit you not. She kept asking me, am I going to take the vaccine? Am I going to take the vaccine? I keep telling her, no, I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to take it. I'm not here for that. Next time I come, are you going to take the vaccine? How you doing? You take the vaccine yet? No, I haven't took it. I got my mask on. Is that good enough? Shit, I feel excellent. I caught the coronavirus twice. One time is when Donald Trump was president still. And that was before they even knew that it got here. And I caught it through my child. And I felt so bad. I feel like, oh man, I'm about to die. I can't do it. This ain't a regular flu. Yo, I ain't had nobody taking care of me. My kids couldn't take care of me because they was in school. I'm right here. I felt better, like laying on the floor. My limbs was all weak. I was just done. Like I never felt like this. I felt like just dying, giving up, but I couldn't because my will was too strong. You know what I mean? Then I caught it again later on. Like I'm gonna say last year. So I don't even think it's a flu no more, but it's something out there that they put out there. It makes you all messed up, and then they want you to go to the hospital. Yo, but let me tell you my experience when I had caught diabetes. I mean, that was last year. Wasn't a good thing at all. I wish that on nobody. My blood sugars was like 7 something out the roof. Yo, I was on my front lawn. Yo, just laying there like a dog, like a sick dog on my front fucking lawn, yo. And I got neighbors and shit, yo. They looking at me, they videotaping me, they looking like, damn, what the fuck is wrong with this dude right here? But I had diabetes. I just came from putting rims on my other car. Then I went to the grocery store, and for some reason, I bought all this orange juice, all this ice cream, man. And I was just on a liquid diet. Like I needed pop. I needed some juice. You know what I mean? I wasn't drinking enough water. But when I went to the hospital, they wanted to test me for coronavirus. And this nigga stuck, excuse me, he wasn't even a ninja. He was, you know what I mean, the Caucasian dude. And I'm like, man, look, nah, you ain't about to do that right now. I'm cool. He stuck, and then when I finally let him do it, he ran that mug all the way up to the top of my skull, y'all. To the top of my skull. I was so agitated there. I damn near pulled him over the table and threw him on the other side of me. You know what I mean? That's how violated I felt my nose was. My nose and my head was violated. I'm like, hell yeah, you throwing it up way up in my nose cavity like that. Of course I'm gonna have damn corona. What's wrong with you? I just told you don't do it. But see, they ain't even supposed to go that far. They're just supposed to go up just to get enough snot, saliva, DNA, not up in your brain. Not tickle your brain and your funny nerves. My nerves was bugging. They was like, yo, kill this dude. Get him up out of here. And I wasn't trying to do it. But yeah. But what I'm saying is, they try so much stuff. And then if you do have corona and you're sick, you go to the hospital and you're sick like that with your own will, like the guy said, your own will, your own power, your own horsepower. And they take you away from your family, and then they putting you on ventilators. You know what I mean? What he said was they taking them out. They taking the body counts out. Legalize slow genocide from the doctors, from the nurses, and the people that's supposed to be helping you. The nurses don't know. They ain't wording it up. They getting it from their bosses. Their bosses is the doctors. The doctors is the bosses. The bosses order the nurses to come in and treat you and give you these drugs. When I was in the hospital, now they got this new technology where they going around, and instead of the doctor coming in with the nurse, it's the nurse coming in with this push cart machine with a computer on it, telling her what to give you, what medications to give you, and all this other crazy shit. You know what I mean? Yo, that's bugged out. Y'all gotta be careful, man. The vaccine, I was way hip to that. Like, nah, I'm like, that ain't for me. My immune system is tough. It's good. This is what we are made for. This is what God put us on the earth for. So you don't need nothing because your body is a machine that fight the bacteria, get rid of the viruses. It fights it off. But if you put anything that can alter that, it'll mess up the whole machine process. If you put some water in a machine in your engine instead of oil, what it's going to do? It's going to crank up, freeze up, and then it's going to smoke the high heavens out the tailpipe. And then it's going to shut off. Peoples. I'm just saying, yo. It's the 103 Crazy Drop-Off Radiopod number 20. I see nobody hit the link to come up on the panel to talk with me. Feel free. Don't be shy. Yo, this is how I talk. This is me, Crazy Chaos. You know, hey, I'm crazy. No, I ain't that crazy. But I do, and I would appreciate if more viewers come in and talk and holler at me. You know what I'm saying? Come up on the panel and let's congregate. Because we have some things to talk about out here. And there's a lot of things that you want to give your kids and have them aware of. Because some of y'all are not aware of. And I want to make sure y'all are aware of what I'm aware of. I want your awareness to be on 10,000. You know what I mean? Like some of y'all don't even believe aliens is here. What? I think God made the universe and didn't put nobody else on in this universe but just us. And you know how big and how many universes there is? This ain't the only one. Yo, I'm just trying to be here for y'all, man. That's all. I love y'all, man. And I appreciate y'all for coming in and tuning in with the 103 Crazy Drop-Off Radiopod, episode number 20. They monetized my number 19. So I want y'all to just come in the next time. Think about what I said. Go congregate at the job spot about what you just saw. Because it's all real here. Ain't nothing fake. Ain't nothing fake, Red. It's all love. And I'm gonna leave y'all with this outro. So y'all can peep it out. You know what I mean? On the way out, I'll let your boy. Hey, 103. Crazy Drop-Off. Radio pod number 20. Going out like this, you know.
So y'all know, they don't joke. All my niggas, move that dope. Put 20 stacks, I need some more. This is where I live, in the ghetto. That's enough, 'cause now I'm back. Big attention, show your stack. It's the hustle, and I'm the flow. From the ghetto. Take a look at my kid. Born in Cleveland, I'm still rapping, yeah. Facts are hustling with a 6-pack of beer. Do it look like a walking fit? Hell no, head up, cause shit's gotta be better. So I lost my job, fucking I ain't gonna sweat them. Back to the streets, the homie still where I met him. New routine, my venues, plus a piece of my albums. Homies know I'm linked up with a badass connection. Try to come up without no neglection. I rest in line and constantly right with my weapon. Focus on the game, blow up the Hendersons. Cool attentions, don't play with me. My attitude is like cool, but more like edgy, especially with my mom is trying to get money. I do the do. I ain't gotta prove. from the ghetto. So y'all know, they don't joke. All my niggas, move that dope. But too many stacks, I need some more. That's where I live, in the ghetto. That's enough, 'cause now I'm back. If you gangsta, show your stack. It's the hustle, and I'm the flow. From the ghetto, I'm sitting in the cold, waiting for the wake up so I can work the show. Be scrapping what happened, asking the questions nobody knows. I never hide the feelings, my truth is always shown. Don't need your permission, I'm blowing up just microphones. I'm rapping, I'm laughing, you capping your life all the tone. I'm focused. Sometimes I find myself all alone. My intentions is to be successful, that's the goal. Don't just shit then, do something, get that dough. Stay focused in the zone. I keep it real, so when I walk, I'm fantastic, not a lassie, that's my MO. So call me when you need me to melt the snow. Cause I'm still right here in the ghetto. I come call, right here, never fall. So y'all know, they don't joke. All my niggas, move that dope. But too many stacks, I need some more. That's where I live, in the ghetto. That's enough, 'cause now I'm back. If you gangsta, show your stack. It's the hustle, and I'm the flow. From the ghetto. I don't even trust nobody. Trust is like a lot of me. Please keep the bullshit, 'cause I'm real, I gotta eat. Niggas all faking. 365 constantly. I really don't trust you smiling at me, trying to knock me, stop me. Looking just like me, copy, change like it's mine. Jock me, I almost don't trust my mind. This shit just chopped up, Boogie ain't grimy. Mama told me never trust a bean. Mama, yeah, you right, that's elementary. Automatically, never trust the city streets, be easy. Niggas acting funny when they got money, or my money turn them into enemies. Homeboy, why you knocking me? Go run and tell that 103. So y'all know, they don't joke. All my niggas, move that dope. But too many stacks, I need some more. That's where I live, in the ghetto. That's enough, 'cause now I'm back. If you gangsta, show your stack. It's the hustle, and I'm the flow. From the ghetto.